Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my channel. And a special welcome because today I am starting a new series called Coffee and the Crown. And what I'm going to do is just answer super frequently asked questions that I get and that I've had in the past as I have went along my pageant journey. So I'm going to be drinking my coffee and answering questions, giving you tips, helping you navigate the pageant community, depending on your system and everything like that. So if you have a question, I have an answer, and let's get into it. So today, something that I want to do is answer some questions about things that were actually new to me last year. I switched systems. I am now competing in the Royal International Miss system. I competed there for the first time last year. It was a blast. I love the people. I love the system. I love their purpose. Everything about Royal International Miss just give 110%. I love it. 10 out of 10. Also, if you hear some jingling, my little dog is in here and her collar makes noise. But I had so many questions going into it. I competed in the Miss America system before I competed with Royal International Miss, and then I actually competed in the Princess America system as well. And my first big pageant was Miss Oklahoma Teen USA. And that's when I was a baby pageant girl and had no experience at all. But one thing that I was really stumped on whenever I joined RIM was wardrobe. And that's because they have fun fashion. They have all these optionals. If you choose to do 2 crowns, it's practically a double crown if you sign up for both. We can talk about that too later on in the episode. But you would have 2 interviews. I mean, there's a lot of outfits going on, and there's parties and themed practices. So today I'm going to talk about kind of my experience last year, and then give you example photos right here in this blank spot of what I wore, and then share with you kind of what I've decided to do differently this year without giving any hints to what I'm actually wearing. So, interview. Anywhere you go, interview is going to be the same kind of styles. So there's really not a lot of change for that. These are the interview outfits that I wore. The purple suit was for the role model title, and then the blue dress was for the divisional interview. So what they pull to do your role model interview is this video introduction that you make and submit beforehand. So they watch that and then they pull their questions from there. For your divisional, with both, obviously you submit paperwork, that's a given, but you also do a little intro before you do divisional. So I always wear either a suit or a dress. I have never worn a jumpsuit. I don't know why, I just always end up picking either a dress or a suit, but I loved both of my outfits. And something about RIM that will carry on throughout this episode is they really love color. And listen, I wore a black Giovanni Couture that is just the most gorgeous gown I've ever seen in my life last year, and they still loved it. I'm not saying they don't love white or black or any other kind of neutral or metallic, but RIM really loves color. So that's something that they kind of communicated with me going in. My director did, and I was able to really spice my wardrobe up color-wise. Okay, the second area of wardrobe that I think that we need to talk about is fun fashion. I had never done fun fashion before. I did it at the state pageant, but I just wore this jumpsuit that I already had because I really was like, what do I wear for fun fashion? So this was my fun fashion last year, and shout out to Stephanie at Violets because she is the best and customized my wardrobe as she does every year. So my fun fashion, I felt like was really inspired by kind of like an Oklahoma sunset. So it was like, oranges and pinks just kind of meshed together in the skirt, and then a cocktail that we took off of the sale rack and then attached that skirt to, it's really funny because my skirt actually was the bottom half of a ball gown, and we chopped the top off of it and made it into a skirt. And then we just stoned the sleeves. So it can really be whatever you want it to be. It can be a jumpsuit. It can be a cocktail. It can be a romper. I have a good friend that did kind of like a 3-piece suit set situation with like a trench coat. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Her fun fashion was my favorite out of anybody's, even out of mine. But you don't have to wear a skirt. You don't have to put floats on or a cape or do anything crazy. If you just want to wear like a jumpsuit, like this one was the one that I wore for state. If you just want to wear something like that, you can do that. It's not all about what you have on. It's about how you wear it. And I will say with my fun fashion, it was absolutely gorgeous. But the problems that I had that were on my scorecard whenever I got it back was that once I got on stage, because of the way the stage lights were, the color wasn't vibrant like it was when it wasn't on stage, and it kind of washed me out. And also, my skirt was really heavy, so we had taken off a lot of it right before we left because I took it home and then it just was not like moving how I needed it to. And then we got it to where, it would move, but it was still pretty heavy. And the judges were able to see that it was a little bit difficult to maneuver. So something like fun fashion that is an optional at internationals is Purple Passion. So this was my Purple Passion last year, and I love this. It's just a cocktail dress, and we just put a skirt on the back, but it ended up being like one of the cutest things I think I've ever worn in competition. I actually won Purple Passion in the Miss Division, and Purple Passion, I can't speak for all the optionals because I didn't do all of them, but I'll talk about the ones that I did do. Purple Passion, you can literally wear whatever you want as long as it's purple. So I kind of went for more of that like fun fashion vibe, which that's a lot like what people do. Some people wore gowns, and that's fine. You literally can wear whatever you want as long as it's purple and appropriate. So that's what I wore. And again, it's not just what you have on, it's how you wear it. So I felt like my Purple Passion performance is really what allowed me to win that optional category, even though I literally went out there and I was watching what everybody else was doing, and then I just was like, okay, I guess this is what I'm gonna do. So that's another tip. If you're going into something like RIM and you don't know what to do, you're not sure how to model that area of competition, get on YouTube and watch a lot of videos. That's exactly what I did. Okay, next thing I'm going to talk about. I'll talk about another optional that I did. I did state / like country wear. I don't know. I don't really know what you want to call it. You can either do something that represents your state or represents your country, your region, or wherever you're representing. So this is what I did. And mine was actually inspired by this painting that I'm going to put next to it by Cherokee artist Tracy Rabbit. I am Native American. I'm a member of the Cherokee Nation. So I wanted to take my heritage because I'm very proud of it and represent that on the international stage. And again, Stephanie with Violets is the one who created this look. This was just so fun to wear. And the wings, I wish I could just like wear them everywhere. They're so gorgeous. It was so much fun to wear this on the stage. I didn't win that category because the judges weren't able to see the painting. That I feel like I might have placed higher than third runner up in that category if they were able to see what I was actually trying to portray. But that's totally fine. I'm not like upset that I didn't win a category, but I wish they would have been able to see that. If I did it again, I would try to figure out a way to show them what I was actually trying to portray on the stage. I think that would have definitely helped my score in that area. But nonetheless, I was still so happy to get up there and talk about my heritage, and that I'm proud to be a member of the Cherokee Nation. So I loved that. It was grand, it was wonderful, and it was very colorful. So it was one of my favorite things that I competed in that week. So the next area of competition I want to talk about is gown. So something that I really, really love about RIM is that the way you do evening gown, it can be a little buffered in between age divisions. And that's because there's so many age divisions. So like there's preteen, junior teen, and teen. So, they're all going to be wearing kind of similar type colors, and the majority of them will probably be in ball gowns, those kinds of situations. But for Miss, something I really loved was, so I wore this, and I will tell you right now, bury me in this dress, because this dress is one of the most incredible gowns I've ever seen. And just the fact that I was able to wear this gown and that this gown is mine blows my mind. This gown is just gorgeous. I love it. I never want to let it go. We are trying to sell it right now, and that makes me so super sad. I'm still trying to convince my mom to just let me keep it. But this gown was gorgeous. This gown got good scores, and the performance got good scores. The performance got more comments than the gown did because there's literally nothing wrong with the gown. But one of my really good friends that does pageants, she wore a ball gown and just looked gorgeous in it. Like, she was a moment in this ball gown. Excuse me. And I love that because I have always wanted to wear a ball gown as a Miss, but you have to be so careful in most systems if you choose to do that. Like, it has to look mature, and that is hard to do in a ball gown. With color, with cut, everything. It's just difficult to do whenever you are a Miss. And that, I just loved that she was able to wear that, and she made top 5 in both divisions because she's just amazing. She was actually first runner-up at Miss Oklahoma USA her first year, a couple weeks ago. She's incredible. But she just looked fantastic, and I loved that there were so many different dresses. And in other systems, I feel like you don't get that kind of variety, and that's why I love RIM, because they allow you to let your creativity take over. Now, you still have to be very conscious of what you wear. If you're a Miss, don't wear some kind of neon pink that's got little ruffle sleeves and comes up neck and all the way up to your neck, and it's a huge ball gown. Don't wear something that a preteen would wear. Okay, you have to be conscious about what you're picking out. And you need to ask your directors if it is age appropriate, especially with things like RIM, where there's a lot of age divisions. It's you don't have to be careful, but you have to be careful at the same time. It also depends on what you look like. So if you kind of steer towards looking on the younger side, you should probably pick a gown that's a little bit more mature. And that's to make you look more mature. So if you feel like maybe your looks are pushing into the next age division, but you're actually pretty young for your division, maybe picking something that makes you a little bit younger would benefit you. But I just love that. I loved my dress last year. I got great scores on it. It was gorgeous. So this year, I will say I did go with something that's a little bit more colorful, and I'm really excited about that. But that's why I love REM, is I feel like if you look good, they're happy that you're happy. So, yeah, gown's one of my favorites, so I get super excited whenever I talk about it. But let's move on to the next thing that I want to talk about. So the last bit of wardrobe that I want to talk about is the parties and the practices. So your practices all have themes. Here's a couple of my practice outfits with the theme below them from last year. It was really fun to be able to kind of be creative with your practice outfits as well. Make sure it's something that you can still practice in, because you will be dancing. So you need to make sure that you can move in that stuff. As you can tell, I kind of opted for like more like pant type situations, just because I did not want to be put in a spot where I was not able to fully practice the opening number. Because they're always watching you, you know. Even if in a pageant, if someone tells you that an area competition is not judged, you still need to be giving it 110%. Why? Because that is consciously, whenever you're watching someone, if they don't look like they're enjoying it or they're really trying, you're gonna have that unconscious like bias while judging. I've done it. I've judged big pageants, and if someone doesn't look like they're having fun or that they're really there to give it their all in any area that they're doing, like when I see them, I'm gonna like not think that they want it as much as the girl that is giving everything 110%. So make sure that you bring comfy shoes and you're able to practice in whatever outfits you're using. So the other part of that is the parties, and the parties are so much fun. And when I say so much fun, I mean they are so fun. That REM really pours back into its candidates, and you can just, it's reflected in everything that they do for you, in the prize packages, in your week, in the competition setups, in their judging panels, their gifts to you, and the parties. The parties are so good. So here's some of my party outfits from last year. My favorite one was the Willy Wonka night. My oldest sister actually took one of my cocktail dresses and made me into this big ball of cotton candy. And then we stoned the gown together, and I made a little pair of shoes to go with it. So that was really cool to be able to kind of make one of my own costumes. And then we did a luau welcoming party, and that's usually very consistent. They always do that. And then there's a banquet for awards night, and awards night is the night before your finals night. So they'll hand out all the optional awards that night, and you'll get to know kind of, you know, everyone's places. If you won money, if you won a trophy. I won a crown for Purple Passion and money and a trophy. So that was really cool. And you normally wear like a gown or a suit or a cocktail, like it's very nice for that. I always just do a dress, and it's just because that's me. Like, I just want to wear a dress. So last year we did a night in Paris, and I wore the black and white dress that you saw. I bought it off Fashion Nova. It was like it was under $100. It worked. It was cute. I liked it. It wasn't for everyone, but it was for me. And that's what's important. Anytime you pick out anything, even if it's not for everyone, if it's for you and it reflects you, then that's what you should get. Don't do everything in your power to be a people pleaser when it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, when it comes to life in general. You don't have to wear something just because somebody tells you that you have to wear it. You need to stand up for yourself if you're put in that kind of situation and make sure that you're doing things that make you happy. Because no matter what you are wearing on that stage, if you do not like what you have on, it is going to reflect in your scores because everyone is going to see it on your face, no matter how good of an actress you may be. They're going to know. Which that's just like a little tidbit that I impulsively threw in there, but I feel like it's really important. It's okay to get a groundwork with directors on kind of like what direction you want to go and what they think is like appropriate for that competition year. That's fine. Talk with them. That's what they're there for. But if someone's just telling you what to wear and it doesn't reflect who you are as a person and you're not comfortable with it, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself because it's not going to benefit you in the long run. So yeah, there's just some personal little like life advice from me inserted into the video to help you with your wardrobe this year. So if you liked this video, please click that like button and share. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that button as well. I am so happy to get to talk to you guys every time I hop on here. If you have any questions, please type them below. I'd love to answer them. And I can't wait to see you for the next video. Bye, guys.